What is up, guys? Good morning. Welcome to Breakfast with the Brand. I am your co host, Junior Frederick. Today, we have an amazing show for you. Before we sort of kick off, if you're looking at this live, please put some flames in the chat. Let me know where you're listening from. I know the last time we had a couple places. We had Africa in the building. We had Jersey, we had America, we had the UK. But guys, if you're listening in, if you have any questions, please put it in the chat and please let us know where you're coming from. So today, we actually want to talk about a couple things. First thing we want to talk about is, in fact, we have an announcement, a brand announcement coming. That is coming tomorrow. As soon as Shan gets here, we'll be talking about that. But let me know how you feel. It is an amazing and sunny day in the 758. That's what we call it where I'm from. I feel amazing, and it's avocado season. It's avocado season, so I'm pretty excited about that. In fact, I was actually a bit tempted to bring a few of them on the show, but I know people like who we have here. I see we have Bobby. We have Bobby. I know people often get jealous when I. So this is the thing. When I go to the beach, when I bring out avocados, when I bring out the mangoes and everything, people tell me that I'm showing off. So I was a bit tempted, but I decided to hold back. Bobby, good morning. I see we have somebody looking at us from Facebook. Good morning. Let me know how you're feeling. What is the energy in the room? If you feel good, put a 10 in the chat. In fact, put some flames in the chat. Shan is about to come on. Let's see. Before we get a couple questions in, just want to say good morning to everybody looking. But yeah, we we don't have the seasons that you guys have. I know you deal with the snow. Some people getting ready for the snow, but we actually have the sun. Not bragging. The last time I said that, somebody told me that, hey, Jerry, I'm from Florida, so that doesn't apply. So shout out to Florida if you're looking. I know that that doesn't necessarily apply to you, um, but at least somebody understands and they know how I feel every time I step outside. But let's see. Is Shan in the building? Let's see if Shan is in the building. If he's about to come on. Bobby, how you feeling? I see we have
Hey
Sharon.
guys,
Want to send a quick
hey,
shout out to
hey
Sharon,
guys,
Sharon Francis.
can
Hey,
can you guys hear me, man? This guy's over here talking about avocados and mangoes. It's November, almost December. Come
yes,
on, man.
sir.
We've had enough. We've had enough. I don't know. I don't know about you guys, but
Well, I was thinking
you
about bringing
know,
it for display. Just
bringing it for display.
let you know what I'm working with, right?
Listen, we got a commentator speaking coming to us straight from heaven, right? So just be aware, right? We in two different worlds. We in two different worlds. But seriously, guys, it's absolutely phenomenal over there. And maybe we'll shoot you outside one time. Maybe we'll have you at the beach and we'll do a special edition of Breakfast with the Brand at the beach and what you call the 758.
Yes,
How's that
sir.
sound? Sound good?
Sounds phenomenal to me. Guys, how does that sound?
Good
Bobby,
stuff.
quick shout out to Sharon. How does that sound? Jenny. Guys, if you'd like to see an episode of Breakfast with the Brand where we're at the beach, then let me know. I've been thinking about it for some time, but I don't want to upset the people in the snow. So
It's okay.
I don't
It's
want to
okay.
upset the people in the snow.
It gives them something to
So,
aspire to.
well, that's one way to look at it. That's one way to look at it. Yes, sir. But we got some pretty good questions today. Guys, if you're
Good,
tuning
good,
in,
good.
let us know where you're listening in from. So what part of the US are you listening in from? And if you're not in the US, what country are you listening in from? Put it in the chat. If you're on Facebook, if you're on YouTube, just let us know. If you have any questions, I see we have a comment. Jason, bring up Jenny's comment. Bring up Jenny's comment. Somebody's commenting about the beach. So Jenny's
Yeah.
commenting about the beach. So Jenny says beach. Who else says beach? So that's I'm writing this down. I take this so serious. Th- See this? I'm writing it down. So that's one person who says the beach, right? Sharon, what do you say?
Oh, we
I
can
know
do
we have
it. We can
Sharon
do it all day. I love the beach. Let's go.
Nice, nice. All right. Well, we got a few questions, but before we dive
We'll
into
set it
that,
up.
sir, is there anything you want to say to the people listening in?
Well, stick around to the end. Stick around to the end. We've got a phenomenal announcement. We've been getting a lot of questions about this, a lot of questions about this. So just stick around, and we'll definitely answer those questions with something we have rolling out. But let's grow. Let's get into the questions. Let's get into the questions.
All
All
right.
right,
Nice,
let's talk
nice.
about why we're here first.
Yes, sir. So let's get into the first one. So this is pretty interesting. So Tommy, this is from a Tommy from Baltimore. So
Okay.
Tommy says, "Thank you, coach. I'm here in Baltimore flipping real estate, but it doesn't give me time to spend with the family, which is why I began in the first place. What do I do?"
First off, that sounds like a name, Tommy Baltimore. That sounds like a name. Yeah, you might want to think about that. That sounds like a brand name, Tommy Baltimore. Okay. Flipping real estate, no time with the family. There's a couple of different things you can do, but it's probably going to require you to do one first. When you find that you are in your business instead of on it, right? And it requires a lot of your time. That's primarily because you have yet to successfully delegate yourself. You have yet to set up SOPs, standard operating procedures, because once you set up standard operating procedures, you can actually segue yourself out and someone else in. But if you don't know what to tell them or how to instruct them, if there's nothing you can leave them with, that's why it always fails. So a lot of times people will have a team, but they won't have something for that team to do because they don't really know what it is that they do. They just operate. So the first thing I would say to you, Tommy, from Baltimore, is to document your process. Document your process. Spend about a month to 3 months documenting your process. If you close out this quarter, documenting your process and writing down everything that you do, every nuance, every little bit of it that seems overwhelming or underwhelming, the small stuff, the detail work, then you can spend the next quarter teaching that to someone else. I would say bring them in for free first and let them shadow you for 90 days and then watch them. So there's a process of learning. Watch what I do. I watch you do what I did, and then you do what you do. Right? So watch what I do. That's like an internship or shadowing. Watch what I do. See me do it, observe me do it, shadow me while I do it, and then I'll watch you do what I did to make sure that the information is there and the learning is there. Once that happens, there'll be another 90 days of probation where you're ensuring based on results whether they can do it or not. Right? Now, what happens here is that you'll find that some will, some won't be able to, but most will if you're successful in your leadership, your delegation, and your documentation. So again, let me break this down. End of this quarter, document the process. First quarter next year, bring someone on, let them shadow you and see what it is that you do. Second quarter, 2002. The second quarter would be to watch them, monitor them, and watch and see them do what you did. And then the third quarter of next year would be to let them fly and really make the mistakes and pick themselves up and learn the process on their own while you're close by, but not over their shoulder, not micromanaging and not present to save them should they fall. If you're able to do this in that last quarter, they should be able to show up as you in your business. And in 2023, you'll be able to truly reintroduce yourself to your family for good.
That sounds super powerful. Now, I actually have a question about that because, during the week, I speak with a lot of people in real estate. And, most people, the model that they use is they try to have like a faceless company. So, for example, Shaan Rais Real Estate LLC, or not even Shaan, just let's just say Omni Solutions Real Estate. So there's no name, there's nothing like that, and they don't. Most people can't seem to make the connection with personal branding and real estate.
Mm,
Now,
okay.
so my question to you, Shan, is can having a personal brand truly work for somebody in real estate? And how does one go about making that connection in a way that makes sense?
Very good. Very good. I like the question. I would say, of course, personal branding makes all the difference in everything. Number one. Number two, how would that work? Watch this. Document the process. Document the process. That's how you build a brand. You build a brand by documenting the process. Hey guys, this is Shaan Rais. I'm right here on the set, right? We're about to get filthy. We're about to get dirty. We're about to turn this rehab into something phenomenal. And I want to walk you through the 9-month process, 9-week process, 12-week process, whatever it's going to be, for you to see how we take trash and make it absolutely phenomenal. So stick around with me. All right, guys, I'm going to be shooting every single week, every single day at 7 o'clock in the morning. You can actually walk with me, document the process with me, see how it's done so you can learn how to fix, flip, rehab, da, 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 da. 1, 2, 3. Build your brand just like that. Teach the people, show the people, watch the people follow you. Then they'll want to do what you do. And you can literally move out of the hands dirty work and move into the instructional coaching work, and then allow people to do the work that you did through your brand or through their own brand, but as a segment or an extension of your brand, and then pay homage or actually pay money to learn from your brand how to build their brand. This is just the process of delegation through personal branding. It works for every
Definitely.
industry. Think about chefs.
Hmm.
Think about chefs. Think about phenomenal chefs. You think about phenomenal food, but think about the phenomenal chef. The phenomenal chefs make millions. Phenomenal food, if you're lucky, makes couple 100,000.
Very true. Now, when it comes to that, in specifically, I spoke with somebody the other day. He's a chef, and he wasn't sure
Okay.
about the personal branding, but I mentioned somebody like Gordon Ramsay, and I
Yeah.
was showing him. So if you go to, so anybody listening right now, go to on another screen. Don't exit the YouTube screen, but on another screen, go to Instagram. Type in Gordon Ramsay, and when you look at his photo, his brand's photo, it's a picture of his face. So I was showing that person, not only Gordon Ramsay, but a couple other chefs, like the famous chefs that we know. They all have pictures of their face. They're branding themselves, but on the
That's right.
back end of it, they have like structure. There are people working for them,
Hmm.
etc. So that's a very valid point there. Now I want to say good morning to a few people. I see we have Amal. Amal, shout out to you. We have Crystal. So Crystal says, "Okay, good top of the day from Oklahoma." I see we
Okay.
have Genta. Genta, good morning. Good morning. Jason, can you pull up Sharon's question? Sharon has a question. Can you bring that up? All right. So good morning, Sharon. So Sharon says, I am a realtor in California,
Watch
and
this.
someone
I love
asked
it.
if they
I see
could
it.
shadow me. Okay, but for the crowd, let me read it for the
Yeah,
crowd,
go ahead. Go ahead.
right?
I
So
love it. I'm ready to get in. Go ahead.
yes, sir. So I'm a realtor in California, and someone asked if they could shadow me, but that is just to learn what I do, not to work for me. Should I allow them to shadow me?
All day in America. Yes. But watch how you're going to leverage it and watch how you're going to position it. You, Sharon, take your phone. This is Sharon Francis. I'm on the site right now, and we're doing the real estate, we're doing the fix, flip, rehab, whatever it is that you do. And you say, today I've got my intern. Today I'm giving back to the community and I've got such and such from so and so shadowing me so they can see the process. Listen, guys, if you're interested in shadowing me and seeing what the process looks like, if you're interested in learning more about real estate, fix and flip, rehab, hit me on IG, hit me on Boom, DM me here, send me an email at, call this phone number. This is how we do things at name of your company. You understand? It's positioning. It's positioning. The first person, second person, third person following you, shadowing you, getting coaching from you are usually free because you're testing theory and you're testing the process. You're proving that it works. So give back, contribute, sure. This is free. I'm giving you this free. You're not working for me. But I want you to learn. I want you to understand. Hopefully, once you see the value at a later time, after you see how to position yourself and go get the money, you'll come back and say, hey, I'm ready to, what you taught me, led to me getting this. Here's a percentage of it. How can I get into this? How can I get into that? So the person that's following you might not want to work for you now, but they may very well want to work for you later. And watch this. It's a beautiful thing, too. You can give them 45 days, and then they get a project of their own because they used what they learned from you. And then they come back to you and say, hey, Sharon, I was able to do this because of what you taught me. Now I need to learn this. And you can say, ooh, that's great. But that's an investment. What I gave you for shadowing, what I did for you was absolutely free. But what you're asking me for now comes with a fee. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. So free.
Yeah, I think she did.
Free to a limit, to an extension, right? And then make sure you document the process. Make sure you document the process because now you're a teacher. Now you're a leader. Make sure you document the person behind you and say, this is what we're doing over here at the name of your company. And today I've got such and such from so-and-so with me. Today I've got Junior Frederick from St. Lucia with me. He's watching me. I'm showing him how to X, Y, and Z. You position yourself as a leader that way. And watch the emails start coming in. After the emails come the money.
Jason, could you bring up her next comment? She had another comment, Mr. B. All right, so she said, yes, I had two other people shadow me my music festival. I wish I did that then.
Well, that's why you're here now. You're here now to learn how to position yourself and how to monetize free. Now you know what to do. Good. You are a teacher. Let's do it. Let's put it together. Take what you learn from teaching and be instructional. Be instructional and build curriculum. How can you take what you've learned from teaching and build curriculum, build lesson plans in real estate? You're very welcome. No worries at all. It's my pleasure, honor, duty, and obligation. Let's grow.
Let's grow. Let's grow. Guys, if you're looking, don't be shy. Put some flames in the chat. Click on the emoji icon, touch the little flame, and put it in the chat.
And Sharon, when you
Right.
get the results, because you will, please come back and let us know how that's going. I always like to follow up with my people and find out how that works. All right. So when you get the results, which I guarantee you will, come back to us and let us see how it is turning out for you. Start a YouTube channel with it.
Definitely. So, thank you so much for the question, Sharon. Hopefully we'll see you next week on
That's
the
right.
next episode of the show, and then we'll get a feel for where you are. And to my people putting flames in the chat, I want to send a quick shout out. Jason, just bring up Jenny. Quick shout out to Jenny. Quick shout out to Crystal. As we sort of go into the next question. So it's actually from a Madonna from Manhattan. So she says, "Hey Shan, I'm not a coach yet. Actually, I don't know what I am right now. I am a struggling actor. I came to Manhattan to make my dreams about acting come true, but I haven't met anything but headache Well, heartache and disaster. First, I wasn't getting casted. Then I got thrown out by my boyfriend. Then COVID happened, and now I'm in a homeless shelter. I've got a part-time job, which I don't want, and I'm still trying to get casted. What's my next move? It's a very long question. Very long question. What say you, Shan?
I would say assess. I would say honestly, just assess. Assess where you are, assess who you are, assess how important it is to you, right? Assess how important it is to you. Um, and understand that failure is a part of the process. I don't know if you've read the book, The Seven Prerequisites to Success, right? I don't know if you read the book, The Seven Prerequisites to Success, but I would say to order that book now, like yesterday. Order that book on Prime. If you don't have Amazon Prime, get Amazon Prime so you can get that book yesterday. Because I explain in that book, that was the first book that I wrote, and I explained in that book how everyone, myself included, everyone that you look up to, Elon Musk, everyone that you look up to went through hard times first. They went through hard times first, and after the hard times, they failed, right? So things looked bad, and then they got worse. So you're not out of it yet. Things looked bad, then they got worse. Hard times first, failure second, and then acceptance. So it seems like that's kind of like where you're at. You're in the failure piece, but you're staying there. I need you to lift yourself out of it. I need you to lift yourself out of it because you're telling me the negative things, but I'm sure if you thought about it, there'd be some positive things there too. So I want you to change the position in the room. I want you to change the position in the room looking at your life, because if you do that, you change the perspective, you change the angle. If we all look at the same thing from different angles, people see different things. You understand? I used to put a phone in the middle of a floor in a circle of people, and I used to tell people to draw what they saw. And the person at the left, east, west corner would draw a picture, and it would look different than the person in the southwest corner. And it would look different than the person in the northeast corner. So get up and change the position in your room. Get up and change the position in your psychology so you can see the same situation from a different angle. When you see the same situation from a different angle, what it does is it gives you vantage points, because you can literally get up and change your seat in any angle in the whole room. This is your life. This is your psychology. All of it is not negative. All of it is not negative. You're alive. You're alive. You understand? And you have a skill. And you're in the seat of creation. New York is buzzing with energy. There's nothing between you and this is what I tell people too, no matter what space you're in, you are one set of eyes away from superstardom. Literally, one set of eyes away from the reference that you need, from the person that you need. And it might be tomorrow. It might be today. But if you stop, it will never be. So go from understand it's hard times, understand you're going to fail, accept it. That's part 3, acceptance. Once you accept it, it gives you a paradigm shift. It shifts everything. The acceptance piece, the gratitude piece shifts everything and opens up everything for you. So that's paradigm shift. Hard times, failure, acceptance, paradigm shift. After that, you have to believe. You literally have to believe that you're there for a reason. You left for a reason. You came to New York for a reason. You're in the homeless shelter for a reason. It's for a season, but in that season, there's a reason why you're there. And there's something that you have to get. You've been commissioned. You've been positioned. You've been placed like chess. We're all pieces on a chessboard, and God positions us to obtain something. Whatever you believe in, the universe, karma, whatever it is, you're positioned to retrieve something. You still have something to retrieve. You still have something to learn. You still have an assignment to fulfill in that place. Once you do that, you'll be able to move again. But until you get what you came to get, until you receive what you've been put there to receive, you're going to stay there. This is why some people repeat the same process again, because they fail to learn. They fail to get it. So you got to go through it again and again and again and again and again and again and again until you finally get it. And then you can move on. So don't lament your situation. Don't lament your situation. Go deep into look for what you've been assigned to do and what you've been assigned to find, what you've been commissioned to learn. Once you get that, I guarantee you'll be moved to a better situation. But you have to have the belief first. Belief and then faith. Sounds the same, but diametrically opposed. Human beings sound like one thing, but there's man and woman, right? So belief and faith are related. They're related, but diametrically opposed. See, people believe that the earth was flat, and then they were taught otherwise. Faith is conviction. The difference. Faith is conviction. A person can believe and be shown otherwise. A person's not going to be talked out of their faith. There's a difference. That faith will lead to the seventh component, and that is tenacity. Do not stop. Wake up a little bit earlier. Study your craft a little bit harder. Go to sleep a little bit later. Make one more phone call. Go to one more casting call. Do what other people aren't doing. Go the extra mile. And I guarantee you that you'll get the extra result. That's a guarantee. I wrote the book. I wrote the book because I lived the book. I had to live it before I could write it. Trust me, if you haven't read that book, get that book. But if you can't get the book right now, that's fine. Just take what I've said with a grain of salt. You will get through it. You will get over it. And you're not in that position to be punished. You're in that position to prevail. Let's grow.
Let's grow. Now, on that note, what I also want to say is this is something that I said a few episodes ago. Like what you recognize, right? You energize and you magnetize.
Nice. Say that
What you
again.
what you recognize.
Hold on. Listen, guys, get your pens. I use one too consistently. Keep people around you that are smarter than you. That'll help you.
Don't give me too much credit, Shaan. Don't give me
Go ahead, say that
don't give
again.
me too much credit. But I was just saying, what you recognize, what you give your attention to, what you recognize, you energize and you magnetize. Means you pull it into your existence.
Very good.
But I also wanna, on that note, I also wanna ask you a question. Just for everybody looking, right? Can you speak a little bit more? Now I've heard this concept about the advantage of rock bottom.
Oh yeah.
Can you speak now?
Definitely.
Not now. You just spoke about it when it relates to the seven prerequisites, but can you dive a little bit into the mindset of being at rock bottom? Like you can't go possibly lower at this point. What happens to a person in when they flip their mindset, when they begin to recognize, energize, and magnetize a different reality?
Definitely. That's when you go inside, right? That's when you go inside. I was speaking with my wife not too long ago. When you have a lot going on, when you have a lot of opportunities, right? So a lot of times we have so many opportunities that we're superficial. We make problems where there are none. We make problems where there are none. We see defaults in excess and abundance. We have abundance and we have excess. We have opportunities to be massively, massively successful. And because we do, we find fault in those. We find fault in that. For instance, phenomenal family, well-to-do, own a home, still find the time to argue and fight with each other. How does that happen? They have everything. Jobs, health, kids, car, house, money, possessions, health. Did I say health? And they still argue and they still fight with each other. And then you'll find somebody who's what they would call a bum or a derelict. You walk by, you give him 2 slices of pizza, he'll find someone to give the other slice to. They appreciate. They're thoughtful. They're humble. They're kind. They're receptive. They're sharing. They're reciprocal. Right? So rock bottom helps you in that you can no longer externally view things. Your view is no longer external. What's outside of you? You've lost all of those things outside of you. Finally, you've lost all of those things outside of you. So now you can do some internal introspection. Because as long as you're looking outside of yourself, you're going to find something to complain about. You'll find something in the abundance to find that default. Do you understand? When there's abundance, you'll find a reason that there's something in. Listen, people say, I can't stand my mother until she's gone. Until she's gone. My wife and we fight all the time. I can't understand her. She makes me sick while you're at the bar. Until she gets into a car accident. And she's no longer present. My son, he just doesn't listen. Until you're removed. Until that problem is taken away from you. I wish God would just stop this. I can't go anywhere. I can't get anywhere. If your legs are removed and you no longer have the ability to walk, now that's accurate. And now you get to go inside of yourself and find out what's wrong with your perspective. Because I promise you, there's nothing wrong with the abundance. There's nothing wrong with the excess. There's nothing but opportunity between every breath that you take. If you can find fault, you can find promise. It's all in the mindset. If you can find fault, you can find abundance. You just have to look inside. So for some people, they're distracted by the outside. They look at everybody else. They don't look at their own opportunity. They say, hey, this person's killing it. That person's killing it. This person is killing it. Why can't I? The reason why is because you're looking at that person kill it. You're looking at this person kill it. And you're looking at this person kill it. So maybe if you lose everything, maybe if all of the abundance is removed and all of the opportunity and all of the possibility is removed from you, then you can become reflective. Maybe then you'll be humble enough to look inside and say, hold on. There's a lot of different worlds out here. There's a lot of different worlds out here, and you get to choose the one that you exist in. You literally get to choose the one that you exist in. But many times it happens that we become reflective when all else is lost. So my plea to you, if you're watching this morning, don't wait until then. Be mature now. Be reflective now. Be introspective now. And really take an honest, accurate, humble assessment of all of the bounty and abundance that exists before you have to be reduced to nothing and rock bottom. But honestly, for the people that are distracted, it's a great place to be.
Wow. Guys, what do you think about that? Put it in the chat. What do
The
you
reason
all
why
think about that?
I'm sorry, but I got to say it too.
Yeah.
The reason why I can speak on it is because I've been there. That's what gives me the authority to speak on it. I couldn't give you something that sounded that well put together. If it did sound well put together, I couldn't give it to you if I hadn't experienced it myself. Just humbly stating, I want to make you aware of that. Like, I've been there. I've been at the bottom. I was externally positioned and I had an external perspective until life humbled me and removed things from my life that made me say, hold on, what am I really finding fault in? And now what do I have to appreciate? And then question, are you living to your best ability every single moment of every single day and living it like it could possibly be your last, because nothing is guaranteed? Am I appreciating the people that are in my life to the fullest degree, or am I finding fault in them? And what if something happened and they were no longer present? My business, it's not every day isn't a bed of roses, but what happens if it's removed from you? You may own a business and say, my customers are acting funny. The clients, the customers, there's this going wrong and that's going wrong and this going wrong and that's going wrong. But that's going to happen. That's business. What if it's removed from you? I saw something earlier. Woman posted something about body shaming. She was speaking about herself. She said, I'm overweight. She said, I'm overweight. And I think that my overweight is the reason why I don't have many male acquaintances and friendships right now. It's a woman saying that my body, my pudgy face, is the reason why I think the reason is that I'm not getting attention from men. Sister, you're not getting attention from the right man, right? Because the right man is not going to care about your external appearance. And you understand? Like, she wasn't looking bad. She wasn't scarred. She ain't have a $150. She ain't have stitches on her face like Frankenstein. You understand? She looked very acceptable, very presentable. You understand? But in her own eyes, because of what she's seen on TV, because of what she's heard on the radio, because of what she's heard on the internet, she felt like her little bit of health, right? Health, because there's such a thing called skinny fat, and you could be skinny and unhealthy too. Her health and her abundance in life, her vivaciousness, made her feel like she was in lack. So I just want to give you that example. You don't want to be in a good space. All of her fingers, all of her toes, all four of her members, arms, legs intact, right side of the mind, just the wrong perspective. Just the wrong perspective. Listen, if you're still present and you have a day to make a difference, and so use it. Use that moment to make a difference in someone's life, as opposed to a reason to feel down on yourself when there's absolutely nothing wrong with you at all. Nothing at all. I hope she's watching this. Maybe I'll send it to her. Maybe we'll clip it and I'll send it to her in the DM. Because, I watch that stuff and I listen to it. And when I do, it impacts me, because I can remember when I did not see everything as being a part of a process. And I was like, oh, don't get stuck. So that's what I'm going to say to you guys. If you're watching this right now, don't get stuck. Don't get stuck. Everything is a season, and every season has a reason. Go ahead. Next question. Let's go.
Yes, sir. Everything certainly has a season. Before we sort of move on, I just want to send a quick shout out. I see we have Kim. So Kim, shout out to you. The ladies are loving what you're saying. I see they put in some flames in the chat.
Okay.
Um,
Okay. Yeah.
Amal,
Let
Crystal.
me say something else too, real quick. Let me how you say, shameless plug for a phenomenal woman, Charmaine Q. Harrison, right? If you've got that body issue, right? If you've got that physical issue, if you got that issue, I feel like I weigh a little bit too much. I don't feel like I look the way I should look. I feel like I'm a little heavy, a little bit bloated. Look up Charmaine Q. Harrison. Google her. She's doing some phenomenal things in the health and wellness space, the beauty and appearance space. Go right ahead.
Yes, sir. I actually want to pull up Bobby's question. I think Bobby has a question. Mr. B, can you bring that up? Let's see. We're still waiting for that.
Can you
Mr. B,
see
can you
it?
bring up? Let's see. I think he's saying, how can we find ways to walk away from bad investments when the investment is high? Many times we can be loyal to mistakes.
Oh, I love it. I love it. How can you find a way to walk away from bad investments? Many times we are loyal to bad mistakes. Hmm. It would be a deep assessment again. And I would watch this. I would really ask you to go deep into why you began in the first place. Because a lot of times when you're feeling that way, it's an emotion. And it's because the commitment required is bigger than you considered. That's what I'm going to say. Because think about think about a 20K relay race, right? A 20K race, 20K sprint, 20K run. Um, Around the 10th mile, you're gonna feel some kind of way. You hear me? That's a heavy investment. I'm just giving an example. That's a heavy investment. And your ankle might tell you it's the wrong investment. And your hip might tell you you signed up for something that you shouldn't have. And your knee, the inside of your knee, your meniscus and all that might tell you that you shouldn't have signed up for this. It doesn't make any sense. They're not giving away money anyway, right? They're not giving away money anyway. What are you doing here? You're 43, for God's sakes. Get out the road. Get out of the way and let these other people go by before they run you over. Remember why you committed in the first place. Why did you make the commitment in the first place? What did you come to get? And did you get what you came for? Business has made me feel like that a lot of times. I'll just be honest, like business has made me feel like that a lot of times. But every time I've had to remember what I came for. I always had to remember who I was down at the core. Do I quit? Do I give up? Do I throw in the white towel? Never, ever. So what happens is I make those heavy investments. I go against the grain. I swim upstream. People around me call me crazy. Some people leave, and that's perfectly fine. Sometimes it doesn't make sense, and that's perfectly fine too. Because if it made sense, if everybody understood it, then I'd be just like them. So if you're that person that makes a heavy investment and it seems like a mistake, I would tell you to really, really evaluate the reason why you committed in the first place. And many people say, well, is it worth it to keep going? Pay attention. Some people say, is it worth it to keep going, Shaan? It's going to cost me another 100K. It's going to cost me another 200K. And it's going to take 3 more years. Is it worth it to keep going? As a student in 2 doctorates and a double master's holder, I have a little bit of experience in long investments and excisely investments in time and money, right? So you're speaking to one with experience. Many people say, is it worth it to keep going? I'm going to ask you, is it worth it to quit? Is it worth it to quit? I don't know how long you've been in the investment. I don't know what you came for. I don't know what the investment is that you're talking about. But is it really worth it to sacrifice all that you've invested and look in the mirror after saying, I quit? And if it's not, keep going and get what you came for. A lot of
Super
times,
powerful.
let me say this
I was
too.
gonna ask a
I'm sorry,
question.
I got to
Yeah,
say this too, right? I have to say this
yeah,
from
yeah.
experience. A lot of times you'll find fault in the 9th inning. You'll find fault in that 10K, that 15K. If you go past the 10K and you find the 15K, you'll hate everyone who orchestrated the event. the person who orchestrated the event, you'll absolutely hate them. Your personal trainer, you'll absolutely hate them. Your wife and your kids who you're doing it for, you might you might really be like, I hate them. I just want to get off this track. I just want to quit. You'll look outside of yourself to find fault and find reasons to quit. I'm going to advise you to look inside of yourself for reasons to commit and reasons to finish and reasons to get what you came for.
Very true. I was gonna ask the question, who would you have to be not to follow through? That's what I was
Mm.
gonna ask. Who would you have to be not to follow through? Now, when you really think about that, you realize that you don't really have a choice, because if this is something that you feel bonded to, like I've had that experience, it's almost like you have to do it. Like if this is really your vision, this is really your mission, and this is your purpose, like many people say, it's almost like you have to do it, whether you choose to go this route or another route. Otherwise, it will keep itching. It's like a itch you can't scratch, right? You have to keep going. You have to keep going. Mr. B, could you bring up Crystal's comment, please?
Shout out to Mr. B too. So hold on. Shout
Yeah,
out to
shout out to
Mr.
Mr.
B
B.
holding it down on the orchestration. Guys, listen, we got a phenomenal systems guy on the back end. Don't hesitate to give credit where it's due. Like, don't think this is just, great people look great because of great people that help them to look good. Great people look great because of phenomenal people that help them look good. So I just wanted to send that shout out, Mr. B. Thank you. You're doing a phenomenal job.
Yes, sir. So I wanna go ahead and read this, right? So Crystal says, so I am a new coach and questioning if I could actually do it, because even though I have a strong desire to help people, to help others, I get so nervous when speaking to others. I mean, really nervous and fumble over my words when speaking live. How do I get more comfortable speaking and coaching, or decide if I am not cut out for it? I have invested in mentors and coaching as well.
Well, shame on them first. Um, you can do it. Let me tell you that. Ask me how I know. I felt the same way at one point, right? I felt the same way. I've authored 2 books and I wondered if I could write a book. I have a phenomenal community and I wondered if I could hold the attention of someone for more than 2 minutes. So if you're in doubt, that's confirmation. If you feel the desire to do it, that's confirmation that you can do it. If you're here in the morning on a Saturday when you could be anywhere else, you can do it and you have the desire. Now, how do I get more comfortable speaking and coaching? I love this question. You get more comfortable speaking and coaching by speaking and coaching. It's very simple. You get more comfortable speaking and coaching by speaking and coaching. Now, we did a course called Coaching Like a Leader, which you can take and it'll teach you more about coaching. You can take a course that we're going to do in February called Speaking Like a Leader, and it will definitely help you to acclimate to speaking in front of crowds and feeling more comfortable speaking. But you know what I'm going to tell you to do in both of those courses? Coach and speak. Coach and speak. And coach and speak. You know what you're going to be doing if you take one of those courses? You're going to be coaching and you're going to be speaking. You're going to be coaching and you're going to be speaking. So the way you become more comfortable, watch this. How does a Marine put together and take apart a gun with a blindfold on? Bobby knows it. He's a military man. How do you feel more comfortable taking apart and putting a gun together blindfolded? By practice, by doing it so many times with your eyes open that you can now do it with your eyes closed. The only reason I look and feel comfortable speaking is because I've spoken all my life. I've gotten sent to the hall and sent to the principal's office for speaking when I wasn't supposed to be speaking, right? And people took their children away from me. I mean, people literally said, don't have your son hanging out with Shaan, because I would coach them. I would lead them. I would create the operation and direct them in the execution of. I was always coaching since I was young. And my wife says, stop coaching me. My kids say, stop coaching me. I'm consistently coaching. I'm doing this for free so I can coach you now. This is what I love to do. Do what you love to do. Do what you were meant to do. That's why I tell everybody, first thing you need to do, go live. Don't go live once. Go live every single day until you get comfortable doing it. Speak, coach, help people. You become a better influencer by influencing people. You become a better writer by writing. That's how you get more comfortable speaking and coaching, by speaking and coaching. Now, again, just like with Bobby's question, you have an or there, or decide if I am not cut out for it, which means you're still considering quitting. When you burn that bridge, when you burn that boat, and it no longer becomes an option, then you don't even have a decision to make. You have an obligation to fulfill. That's what I have, an obligation to fulfill. Listen, when COVID happened and everybody sat down, shut up, got under the bed, hid out, I went live. Why? Because it's my obligation to speak and to coach. And that's why we have what we have now, because it was my obligation to speak and coach. So watch this. If you want to become successful, if you want to become phenomenal in what you do, if you want people to follow you, you can't look at it as a decision. I don't know. Should I? Can I? I could always quit and go back to what I'm. No. If you say this is what I'm born for, this is what I'm destined for, this is what I'm going to do until the day I die, I'm going to be helping people, I'm going to be speaking, I'm going to be coaching, I'm going to be leading, I'm going to be adding value. That's when people follow you. That's when you become a leader, when you truly lead yourself in one direction with no options, no alternatives, no plan B, plan A. See it through. Remember what you came for. Remember who you came for. What if they see you quit? You say, oh, well, mom quit. She tried for 2 years and then she quit. I'm ice skating, I'm trying, but I just twisted my ankle for like the 18th time. I'm out of here. Well, I'm in a marriage and I got 2 kids, but I'm upset and he said something I ain't like, so I'm out of here. Mom quit, I'm quitting. I want a divorce. How you do anything is how you do everything. Write that down. Like, get a tattoo. How you do anything is how you do everything. And whether you perceive yourself to be a leader or not, you have followers. You have little pickney looking at you. You have little children looking at you. Yeah, you have little babies looking at you. Trust me, the eyes of the world are always upon you. You have followers following you. What do they call them?
Stalkers.
Yeah, thank you. You got stalkers following you, committed to you, subscribing to you that you don't even know yet. You don't even know them yet. You've got customers watching you, but they like, I don't know if they committed yet. Look like they still shaking the dice. I'm not really sure. Shout out to Davita. Thank you for your service. We see you. Thank you for your service. Listen, guys, people watch me because I'm not gambling. Like me, love me, hate me. I'm not gambling. I'm dead serious. And if you follow me, I'm going to show you how to build your personal development, professional development, and organizational development. This is what we do. This is what we do. We're not perfect. We make mistakes and we get up and we dust it off and we brush it off and we have people watching us. Who's watching you? That's the question you need to ask you before you ask you, can I quit? Should I quit? I don't think I'm good enough. You're always growing. We as a company are always growing. Individuals as individuals are always growing to the next level, always going to the next level. You should always be in a position where I don't know if I'm good enough. You should always be in a position of, can I do it? Can I bust through? Can I do this? I did this. Now, can I do this? I'm making $30K a month. Can I make $100K a month? I'm making $100K a month. Can I make $250K a month? I wrote 2 books. Can I write 5? I wrote 5 books. Can I write 10? I have a community of 50. Can I have a community of 500? If you're not doing that, you're not growing. And the question should never be, am I good enough? The question should be, do I love the people watching me enough?
You know, that's tough. That's a real answer. But I also want to say to Crystal as well. No, you cool, you cool. I think Crystal got exactly what she needed. I was just gonna
I
say
hope I didn't
something
hurt her
very,
feelings.
you know,
Crystal, are we still
no, no, no,
cool?
no, no, no. No, you're cool. I think you're cool.
All right.
But I like to take what you say and summarize it and make
Please
it
do.
so
Thank you, sir.
concise in five
Yeah,
words,
you're good
right?
at that.
So to Crystal, I'm gonna say desire is potential seeking expression,
Whew.
right? So
Wow. Here we
desire
go.
is
Here we go,
potential.
guys. That was another ping moment. Go ahead.
Desire is potential seeking expression. So if you have a desire to coach, that means that you have the potential, and your potential is seeking expression, which means that you could do it. So you could definitely do it. Now,
Yeah.
Bobby had a question, but before we get into that, I see Sharon. Sharon put LOL. So you said Pickney, right? Now I know Sharon is probably laughing because I know Sharon is from Jamaica. So you said
Okay.
Pickney and Sharon. That's why I was laughing a little bit because I'm from the
Okay.
Caribbean. So you trying to use our slang. I see you trying to use our slang and thing. So Sharon laughing.
We
Yeah,
can't
Sharon
use the
like
word
LOL
pickaninny.
Pickney.
There's a copyright on the word
I
pickaninny. I
say
didn't know that.
when you
I'll
all
pay
right
the
when you okay
royalties.
just
Don't
like
worry about it.
all right, it's just like if I'm not from New York, I'm not gonna come and I'm not gonna use New York slang, and I'm not from New York. So when you're not from the Caribbean and you're trying to use our slang, I have to say something because you're not from the islands, man. From the mainland,
Let
mainland
me
people,
say
right,
this.
Sharon?
Let me say this. Let me say this. The planet belongs to man. That's all I'm gonna say. The planet belongs to man. That's all I'm gonna say. Go ahead. I'm
Yes, sir.
comfortable anywhere I go.
Uh, yeah, I know. Yeah,
I'm
I
just messing
know.
with you.
Yes, sir. It's so funny. I know the Jamaicans looking, they find it super funny.
Yeah.
When you use
I
the
had a
the
little
slang with
pickaninny,
your
right?
accent. Yeah,
Yeah.
with your accent, it's super funny. Yeah, so there you go. Bob, I think Bobby had a question. Where is it? Mr. B, could you bring it back up? Bobby had a follow-up question. So he says thank you. No, go back to the next one. There you go. So he says, thanks for answering my question, coach. Guys, I know what it's like to stop right before finishing. It was tough to handle, and honestly, they are completely right. The itch won't let you sleep. Yeah, it's not going to. You have to do it. You have no
An
choice.
obligation.
Some
It's an
people say
obligation.
you come back. You keep coming back until you do it. So, that's what some people say. Um, can you bring up Crystal's comment? She says, thank you so much for this information. It was very helpful. Confirmation. Stay the course for sure. Let's see what else we got.
That was
Oh,
Crystal.
yeah, that's Crystal.
Good, good,
Oh,
good.
Charmaine.
I'm glad you got it. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, sir. Charmaine is actually in the building. So bring up Charmaine quickly, Mr. B. So that's who we were referring to, right?
Yeah.
So guys, for your health needs, Mr. B, could you pop her up on the screen? So guys, for your health needs, like all the people who want to get deep into the diet, also not just the diet, the psychology, right? Because it's one thing to just stop eating something, but it's another thing to actually embrace the diet, the mindset, and actually, I think what Charmin does is she helps you push toxins out of your body and create an entirely different life, revolving around your health.
Oh,
So
oh,
to
hold on, hold
everybody,
on, hold
men
on,
and
hold on, hold
women,
on, hold on. I'm
listen.
sorry. I'm sorry. Let's lean away from. I like what she does, but it doesn't sound good enough, right?
True, true, true.
So if check this out, if you want your beauty restored, right? If you want your beauty restored, because that's what the young lady was talking about. She was talking about the way she looked, and the
True.
way she looked impacted the way she felt. You understand? And because she didn't feel successful in that space, she can't feel successful in any other space. So, ladies, if you want your beauty restored, men, if you want your youth restored, if you want to age in reverse, if you want to bring that back up, whatever that looks like, look, we done shut it down. If you want to bring that back, if you want to bring back the attention, whatever that looks like, make sure that you do just that. make sure that you do just that. Check out Charmaine Q. Harrison. Go to her site. That's her image on the screen. Do what you need to do to get in touch with her so that she can help you to reclaim your youth, reclaim your beauty, and reclaim your vigor. That's what needs to take place. And that's how you need to position that, because it's really an image of identity, sight. How are you perceived? And I was explaining this to somebody else who didn't really position themselves the right way with the right language, right? You want to position yourself the right way with the right language. So some people say I'm in the health and wellness, or I'm in the weight management. No, you are in the beauty space. You are in the beauty and the health, the energy space. So if you want your energy back, if you want your appearance back, if you want to look like you're in your 20s or your teens again, if you want your skin to be radiant and shiny again, that's where you need to go. So that's her handle on the bottom of the screen. Pay attention. Pay attention to what she has to say. She just did a phenomenal take. She just had a phenomenal masterclass the other day. Go in there and get you some.
Yeah, and I think Charmaine might still have a special going on. Just in case you guys are interested.
Oh,
She
yeah.
just did this masterclass. When was it? Yesterday, I think. Either yesterday or
Yeah.
the day before.
Yeah, it was
Might
yesterday.
she might still have a special going on. So you guys need to contact her and find out a little
Her
bit more about
prices
that.
are up, right? Her prices are up. She's branded high-end luxury. Her prices are up, but just tell her that you came through Breakfast with the Brand. Tell her Shaan Rais said to take it easy on her. Take it easy on her. Tell her Shaan Rais said to take it easy on her. Tell her you came through Breakfast with the Brand, and she'll take care of you, find some kind of discount for you. Let's grow.
Yes, sir. Now I know we sort of winding down, but I promised somebody I'll take two questions. Okay.
Okay,
I have
go right
two more
ahead.
questions that I have to take. So this one is actually from Yvette, right? Now I'm not sure if Yvette is watching, but Yvette, I promise I would have Shan answer these questions. So Yvette is a beginning entrepreneur, right?
Mm-hmm.
So she asks you these two. So she says, how have your priorities changed from when you first started? So let's deal with that one first, and then I'll give you the next one.
How has my priorities changed since I first
Yeah,
started? Whew.
yeah.
Okay. When I first started during COVID, my priority was to get people to the next day. That was my main thing, how to help people get to the next day, how to help them build themselves and remain cognizant through the day-to-day of coronavirus and COVID-19 and the onset of depression and the lack of jobs and everything, right? Now, my priority is to help people to build businesses so that they can reclaim their economy. So before it was autonomy, now it is economy. I want to help these same people from the personal development into professional development and building sustainable businesses so that they can actually own their opinion. If they want to go to work, fine. But if they don't want to go to work, they don't have to, because they have a sustainable system that brings them multiple streams of income: daily, weekly, monthly, and yearly.
Hmm. Nice, nice. Quick shout out to, I think we have Crystal. So Crystal says, Mr. B, could you bring that up? Crystal Josiah, quick shout out to you. So Crystal says, that's awesome, Shaan Rais. I love the way you did that.
What is that
Uh,
specifically? Did what?
I'm guessing the way you sort of give Charmaine the plug. I'm guessing.
Oh, okay. Okay, definitely. Yes, ma'am. I mean, we want our people to win. I mean, and if you got something fire, it's fire. It needs to be added to. It needs to be added to. I'm not here to take away. I'm here to add to. We want to add value, and we want to see everybody win. It's not the me show, it's the we show. It's not about the man, it's about the brand. And she's a part of the brand. So we can vouch. And I don't vouch for many people. but she's credible and she's reputable and she's ethical. Let's grow.
Crystal said it's the verbiage for me.
Thank you. Yes,
Yeah,
man.
yes, yes. All right, so last question, guys. If you have any comments, if you have any comments about the show, if you enjoyed the show, put some flames in the chat. If you have any comments, I'll take one more question from this crowd. But I have one more from Yvette, right? So Yvette asks you, this is pretty interesting. What is what is your greatest fear, and how do you manage fear?
Oh man, are you serious?
I'm dead serious. It's
She asked me,
literally what it
what did
says.
she say? She said, what is my favorite, my greatest
No,
what?
no, no. This is what is your greatest fear, and how do you manage fear? This is literally what she said.
Wow, that's a good one. That's a really good one. I I would have to say that it makes me think because I
Come
don't
on,
fear.
let us
It
know.
makes I have to think because I don't fear anything but fear
Oh,
itself. Right? I fear God. Like I don't fear nothing. Like I'm so far away from that. So let
that
me
journey.
really try to dig deep for this answer.
Hmm.
I fear loss of life without having realized and expressed every ounce of potential that God put in me. I fear going back to my creator with gifts unrealized. I fear one person that I was meant to touch that I haven't touched. I fear having someone who was supposed to receive something from me who didn't give it, who didn't get it, who didn't receive it. So when you ask me, how do I deal with that? I'm dealing with it now, right? I'm dealing with it when I go live. I'm dealing with it when I say we're going to be on a 1 hour call and we're on a 3 hour call, 4 hour call within my community because I still have more to say and I still have more to give. And there's another question and another question and another question. I fear not helping you build your brand, business, leadership to the next level. I fear having a duty, obligation, responsibility, and not living up to it. That's what I fear. I fear having more to give and giving less than I have to give. I fear going back and someone saying, you helped all of those people, but you missed this one and you missed that one. And that Sunday when you was trying to take off and get some rest, you were supposed to be helping this person and you missed it. You dropped the ball on this one. You dropped the ball on that one because you felt like you had to go to the movies and you felt like you had to take a nap and you felt like you had to sleep late and you felt like you went to enough school. There was something out there. There was something in that third PhD. There was something in that 15th book that you were supposed to write that you didn't write. You wrote 14, but you didn't write the 15th one. And the key was in that 15th one for that little child who grew up in Harlem. He didn't get that nugget that you were supposed to give him. And that's why X, Y, and Z happened. So that's why I don't sleep. That's why I don't sleep and I don't fall and I don't quit. That's why I don't accept excuses from other people because I don't accept them from myself. That's why I push people like I push myself. Because I promise you it's not about me. It's about we. I want you to see what I've done, knowing where I come from and knowing how little I started with. And knowing that if I'm able to do it, then you were born able to do it. And you ain't got no excuse not to. That's what I fear.
Hmm. That was a mic drop moment. All right, I think we'll just like wrap up the
Woo.
show here. We'll just close up here, right?
Yeah, we well. Hold on.
Come on.
We shake that off. We shake
Yeah,
that off.
yeah.
Let me tell you something too, guys. That should be a phenomenal segue. I'm going to segue into the announcement, right? People have been asking, since we began this whole StreamYard thing, hey, Shaan, you kind of removed yourself from the people. Hey, Shaan, we don't have access to you like we used to. We miss you. You're not able to hear our voices, so we're not sure if you still care, right? It has been mentioned. You might be going up here. You might be separating yourself from the same people. You might be going up here. So there was in that same vein, because of that, we have a gift. We have a gift, and I have a duty, honor, and obligation. So starting tomorrow at 7 p.m., we're going back to the same format. We're going back to the Zoom formats. One of my team members put that Zoom link in the chat so they can register for that, right? Because I want to see you tomorrow. And you'll be able to see me tomorrow, and we'll be able to converse and dialogue. And it won't be like I'm over here on StreamYard and you can't really speak to me, or you got to have your questions brought up and I can't hear your voice. I want to hear your voice, and I can't see your face. I want to see your face, right? And I want you to ask me your questions, and I want you to dialogue with the community, and I want you to see what it looks like to be inside of a community that's 100% for your results, for your business, for your legacy, right? So listen. Tomorrow and moving forward, Sundays, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Got to put that in, Eastern Standard. For those of you in the Central and Pacific, I don't know what the time change is. You're going to have to check that out. But 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Leadership, Leverage, Community at 7. Again, Leadership, Leverage, Community at 7. We're going to have a community call every Sunday, 7 p.m., and you and yours are welcome. It's free. No additional charge, no expense. Just bring yourself. Bring your ideas, bring your hopes, bring your dreams, bring your values, bring your principles, bring your morals, and bring your crew, bring your people that are interested in building their brand, building their business, building their community, becoming a better coach, becoming a better speaker. Because it's not, you got to understand that everything doesn't come with the dollar amount. Everything doesn't have to come with the dollar amount. And everything doesn't have to be generalist either. So I'm a specialist. And if you ask me a question, I think you're going to get 120% of my heart. I'm going to give you what you need to get where you're trying to go. And we're going to do this every Sunday evening at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard. Leadership, Leverage, Community at 7. Let's grow. I'll see you there.